Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Words I Choose to Live By. So glad you all could be with us as we're beginning week number 4. We're going to welcome our friends tuning in on social media, including those who are joining us on Instagram here. I'm going to go ahead and bring them in. And then we're going to join with our friends over on Amazon Live as well. If you guys are new to us, welcome. Glad you all can be with us. And we're live now on Amazon Live for this week's episode of Words I Choose to Live By, based on my book you guys see here, Words I Choose to Live By. We keep things simple around here. We're in week number 4 today, and we're joined by my co-hosts, Dr. Velma, Bagby, and Tina Siemens. Melissa Banks is out today. She had a death in the family, so our thoughts and prayers are definitely with her and the family as they're going through this difficult time. Here in the United States, it's a busy day. It's a holiday. It is recognized as Dr. Martin Luther King Day, but it also is inauguration of our 47th president, Donald Trump, as well today. So a lot going on here in the States and probably where you are as well. Let us know in the chat where you're joining us from, by the way. For those joining us on the Amazon side, we're going to go ahead and highlight the book here for you guys if you have not gotten your copy of it. But Dr. Velma, Tina, how you doing?
Doing wonderful.
Doing wonderful. Thank you.
Look, glad to have the two of you with us with a lot going on in the country today. I appreciate you all taking out the time and being able to provide this inspiration for our audience. Again, as I mentioned, it is week number 4, and the message is a great one as I'm turning 50 this year. Age is
Yay.
only a number.
That's right.
You are
Right.
never too young or too old to make a significant impact on the world. Being a star has nothing to do with where you live. It's all about how you live. No matter where you are or where you go, make sure to shine your brightest beginning today. And this has always been an interesting thing for me because I have never felt defined by age, but I do find that there are a lot of people who do put expiration dates on their goals and dreams because of their age, or they may feel they can't do something because they're too young or too old. And I have always realized, and we have such great biblical examples of individuals who were able to do things both in their youth, but also senior. So I've always believed that if you've been given a gift, that you can be able to do it no matter how old you are or where you live. But that's my thoughts. I want to ask you all, beginning with you, Dr. Velma, how has it helped you not to put limitations on yourself based on age?
Sometimes we do it and not realize it because of what we've been taught. You don't hear people talking about doing um, things concerning what you have in your heart, on your heart, what you're passionate about late in life. They just don't. You talk about getting started when you're young, making sure people understand what their calling and gifting is at a younger age, but they don't talk a lot about it, but they do more now. Back in my time, you didn't hear a lot of people. They thought once you retired, that was it. You didn't hear a lot of talk about, okay, let's go do this now that you're at this age. So when I retired in 2012, after working 38 years, I retired and thought, okay, now is the time for me to box up all of the experience and expertise I've gained over the years. Let me put it in a box called retired. I thought because it was never talked about. It was we were never encouraged. But
Yeah.
God told me, no, you have a lot of work to do. And so I wrote my very first book at the age of 64. So I began this journey in 2018. Hasn't been that long, but it was because all of the things that God has prepared me to do and accomplish had to be used for a different purpose. So very thankful. With what I used to do, I thought I was retiring all of it, from
Yeah.
developing skills to uh, coaching people in their careers and helping them to get started and helping them to know where to go, developing managers and new leaders. All of that I thought I was going to box up, but God said, no, use that now. And not only that, being blessed with close to 45 years of marriage at that time, not only that, no, yeah, close to 40 years. He told me to take that. He said, people are going to want to know, how did you do that? What works for you and how do you overcome challenges? And so all of that began my journey. And I knew that from this topic, when I looked at it, I said, oh, talking about me, Cyrus, I am a Titus 2 woman and proud to say it,
Yeah.
but God has more for me to do.
Yeah, I love that. Hello to you, William. William's joining us over there on Facebook. He says, good day to everyone. Tina, what about for yourself? How important has it been for you not to allow your age to limit you?
Well, here in Texas, there's a saying, I wasn't born here, but I got here as fast as I could. That rings true for me. I wasn't born in Texas, but I was 8 when we immigrated, and it took me a while to
Mhm.
get my gears in order to know what, like, I had an intuition that God is calling me for certain things, but then it was just so difficult learning the new culture and learning the new language and all of that. But in that process, God prepared me for what he wanted me to do. And
Yeah.
I really feel 2023 was when my uh, dream of really teaching history and really absorbing for myself and then be able to give to others when I opened up the West Texas Living Heritage Museum. So
Mhm.
time does not uh,
Mhm.
dictate what your dreams are when they can be achieved. And so I feel like having lived past 50, as Cyrus was saying, he's turning 50. I think past 50 is where you are. My dad said, "Oh, you're at the top of the mountain now." And I said, "It doesn't go down from here. I'm going to enjoy the view
Mhm.
because you have the life that you've lived and you can see where you're going." So age does not define your goals or your dreams.
No.
Yeah. So true. Hello to you, Miss Queenie. Miss Queenie is giving you a compliment, Tina. She says you're wearing that hat. She loves it. And I think this is why this message I think is so important. And I think especially as we're beginning a new year, I cannot remember, to be quite honest with you all, why I chose to put this message so early in the book, knowing that
Right.
I designed it to go. But I do think a lot of times people, and I will have to say, unfortunately, in this country, in the United States, we put more onus on women. That when you get to a certain age, you're not supposed to do this, or you're supposed to make this decision. Guys, we don't get that as much. The where people tell us, well, you have to do something by this time, or it's too late. And I think that's unfortunate. But I did want people to know that regardless of where you are, I go on. Oh, and I should say, for those joining us on the Amazon side, you'll notice as my co-hosts are talking, like right now we have Tina's book Seminal, Some People Never Give Up, highlighted earlier. We had Dr. Velma's book, the Wild Journal. As they're talking, you'll see their books being highlighted on the Amazon side. You guys can be able to get those there. Hello to you, Angela. Good day to see you over there on Facebook as well. Also in this message, and again, we're in week number 4 of my book, Word That You to Live By. Age is only a number. I say there, no matter where you are or where you go, make sure to shine your brightest beginning today. So I want to ask you, Tina, starting with you on this question. We all, especially people of faith, we all know the importance of letting our light shine.
Yeah.
How have you been able to make sure that you're able to do that regardless of where you are?
I love that analogy of letting your light shine. The Bible
Yeah.
tells us not to put it under a bushel, to put
Yeah.
it on a lampstand. So when beginning of school, I'll often gather my grandchildren into the darkest room in our basement where it's really pitch black, and
Mm,
then I will have one candle and I'll put it on the floor, and then I'll bring it up on the shelf, and then I'll have a pedestal in the middle of the room, and I'll move that to different areas and just demonstrate how the light illuminates. And in the farthest corner, it keeps the rest of the room dark. You may see a little bit of it in the corner, but on the pedestal in the middle of the room, the whole room gets light. And I say that's how we can be as individuals. The darker it gets around us, the easier people will be able to see our light if we allow our light to shine. So I just absolutely feel it's so important for all of us to let our light shine bright, because it is somebody's watching, somebody is looking for that beacon, just like a lighthouse on the shores. That
mm,
beacon is something that draws people to. That's a welcoming. That's where we have safety. So if we are that light for somebody where they feel safe around us, where we pour out life and light, they will be drawn to us. And so I just absolutely love the opportunity to let my light shine through the different things that I have been able to do.
right. I love that.
Mhm.
Thank you for that, Tina. What about for you, Dr. Velma? How important has it been for you in your life and the different aspects of your life to make sure that you're letting your light shine?
I think that letting your light shine is not just about you and what you have been called to do. And I love what Tina said with her grandchildren. It reminded me of one day my granddaughter used to sit on the floor coloring while I was at my desk writing. And I just happened to pause one day and ask her, did she have an idea for the book? And she said, yes, I do. She called me mom. She said, yes, I do, mom. And I said, okay, let's sketch it. So I created some little drawing boards for her to sketch her story and draw her story. And before you knew what was happening, my granddaughter had 3 books out and all were bestsellers and she won awards. So letting your light shine is not always about you. Sometimes I have to let my light shine on someone else who may be struggling to get out there or make it to where I was able to go. Or you may be shining your light to share your expertise or your knowledge with someone else so that they can be encouraged or inspired. So it's not just about my light for me. It's my light for others to inspire others. I may have to take my little light and flash it on someone to remind them that they should get their light out of the darkness and shine it brighter than what they had been doing. So I'm inspired by being able to do that as well.
Love that. And you just mentioned something, Dr. Velma, I wasn't planning on talking about, but it ties in with this message and it goes to what you just said. Someone messaged me today on Instagram and they were talking about, how, they felt like they were in darkness and they
Oh,
didn't even know about what today's message was in my book. But I think that is one of the greatest privileges we have, right? For one thing, I mean, as we were been talking about here about letting our light shine, I've always felt like it not only reminds people of what's possible,
mhm.
but it also allows them what they can be able to have for themselves. So let them
Yeah.
see a better side of themselves. Tina, I want to ask you about that. How does that feel to know by you letting your light shine that you're able to inspire other people?
Mhm.
It is such a privilege and yet a responsibility that I
Yeah.
don't want to ever take lightly.
Yeah.
I'm constantly in a prayer, Lord, let me be the light that, like a prism. I'm just one that distributes Him through me. And so if I can be that illuminator that God has His light shine through, then it will reach people and circumstances that I could never create for myself. And so for me to be able to be an instrument in
Yeah.
that God can shine through me, then it is going to be the most effective area. Wherever I am, whatever day it is, I can be a light because I'm only the prism that the light comes through.
Love that. I'm going to ask you the same question, Dr. Velma. I want to give some shout outs on Instagram. Hello to you, Alliance for Discovery Coaching. Glad you could join us. Deja Marie, hello to you. Good to be able to see. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Deja Marie, I think it is. Dr. Calandra, hello to you. Glad you all could join us, as well as tuning in on social and on Amazon Live. You all are watching Words I Choose to Live By. We're discussing week number 4 with my panelists. You see there, Tina Siemens. Also, we have Dr. Velma Bagby. And today we're talking about something that's very important for all of us to remember. Age is only a number. And Dr. Velma, I'm going to go to you with this
Mhm.
question that I asked Tina. How does it feel to know that you've been able to inspire other people by letting your light shine?
It gives me joy. It gives me joy. I mean, we can't be selfish with our light. It gives me
Yeah.
joy to be able to share with others. It gives me joy when something I inspire someone to do, I watch them do it and then I see them excel. It gives me joy. It's like something coming, it's like you giving out and you see it coming back to you, not in payment, but just in this pure satisfaction and seeing them accomplish what God would have for them to do. So there's no greater joy. Yeah, I get excited about what God has blessed me to accomplish, but there you get great joy when you help someone along the way and you watch them excel, and so it's exciting. So that's what it does for me.
Yeah, love that. So, Tina, now it's time for our encouragement for our audience. What would you say to our audience today, Tina, about the importance of letting their light shine?
Well, like we began, age is not a factor. uh, Abraham had Isaac when he was a 99 or 100, and so he became a parent at 100. So we are not done. Like Dr. Belma started, like she thought she was going to retire, but
Mhm.
we are not done. At any age, we can regroup and just revigorate what our purpose in life. And I think that knowing your why
Mhm.
is so important. on shining the brightest that you can shine. Because if we don't know our own destiny or our own journey ahead, if we haven't mapped that out, we will not be as effective as we can be if we do know our why. So I encourage, if you don't know your why of life, then find that, make that your priority, and then you will shine the brightest, because that is where your talent lies, is your why in life.
Love that. Great
So good.
reminder. Dr. Velma, what about for yourself? What would you say to our audience about the importance of letting their light shine, regardless of where they live or their age?
Take the time to discover who you are and and your purpose, because you can go days, months, even years without ever discovering what that is, because you haven't taken the time to really discover it. So take the time to discover what that is and uncover, pull that light out of a bushel. Stop covering it up once you discover it and you know what God has called you to do, and let it shine, because God will make sure you have everything you need to accomplish what He has given you to do. Just like so many examples that Tina mentioned. I don't want to have a child at 70 for sure. So I appreciate that analogy and that scripture, Tina, but I'm not encouraging anybody at 70 going on 71 to have a miracle birth. So, but what she's saying is that's what that light is like. You're birthing forth what you have been called to do. So I'm excited about that. And I appreciate what she shared with us today.
Exactly. I appreciate what all of you shared. Again, everyone, message number 4 from my book, Word That You Live By. Hello to you. It's Doc Erica. Good to be able to see you over there on IG. Again, the message is age is not a number, regardless of where you live. And again, we know we have a worldwide audience because of the internet. Where you live, and no matter how old you are, there's always time for you to do what's meant for you to do. You can get my book here on Amazon for sure. And Dr. Velma, let our audience know, how can they stay connected with you?
Hey, I'm on all the social media platforms, most of them, and as Dr. Velma Bagby. But you can also reach me on my and subscribe on my webpage. I'm trying to think of the name. The webpage, drvelmabagby.com, or if you subscribe to my YouTube or even on Instagram, you can hit the link in key and discover more about me as well.
Love that. Thank you. Tina, what about for yourself? How can our audience stay connected with you?
I am on all social media as Tina Siemens, or they can email me at seminalthebook.com.
All right, love it. Thanks to the two of you for a great conversation today. Again, our thoughts and prayers with Melissa Banks and her family as they deal with the loss in their family. And we thank all of you for tuning in to another great segment of Words I Choose to Live By. Until next time, you all make it a great one. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Thanks. Bye bye.
Thank you.